Hello, Live, Run, Boundless family. Welcome to another episode of the Live, Run, Boundless show. I'm your host, your boy, Kenneth Pinkney. And we coming here from Milestone Running shop here in the North Park area of San Diego, California. So thank you for Milestone for allowing to be in your running store. You know, everybody know about Milestone here in San Diego area. And people outside San Diego, you know about Milestone. Or they are like a family store, community store, and this is where the party be at. You can see they got the shoes over here, you know. And then my guest today, Michelle Johnson. We're here rocking the Hoka. So thank you for Hoka. Me being a Hoka flyer. So and just represent Hoka. Well, you know, so I know she got some Hoka too, and so. Yes, we'll talk more about the shoes later on as we go along. You know, we'll come to like we're in the trail. I think we're Hoka side today, but right now I just wearing the Hoka Challenger. You know, now ready to just rock with them on the street on the trails. Yes, so and move on. Yes, so today guest, like I said, is Michelle Johnson, from the San Diego area. She is a wife, a trail runner, a mother of two English Bulldogs. You know, it was nice to see the Bulldogs work, you know. And also, she's the creator and founder of Switchback, with the hat that she got on right now. And the neck gaiters, I might say that, I got that right. Also, she's overcome many obstacles and hills in her life. So, welcome, Michelle, to Live on Boundless Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes. So, look a little bit at your bio, you know, an article that was done on you, and I saw like, man, you've been through a lot in your journey in life. So, tell us, the Live, Run, Boundless family, about your journey of running in 2009, or before that process began.
Yeah. So I started running a little bit later in life.
Yeah.
I was about 25 years old.
Okay.
And you know, I was kind of in some depression.
Yes.
Had gained some weight, and it really started off as just trying to get healthier and get into a better state of mind.
Yeah.
So I started going out and kind of doing a walk, jog, that type of thing, and from there it evolved into being able to run more, at which point I, realized I actually liked running a lot, and it helped me get healthy, not only physically, but also mentally. So that's kind of where the whole running started, right? And so just doing, nothing crazy at that point. It was like more for health reasons. And then in 2011, at the end of 2011, I was diagnosed with cancer. It was right after I had gotten married, a few months after I got this cancer diagnosis. And it was just like, I realized how tough it was for me to not be able to run because I was, in sick or going through surgery or treatment. And I was just so anxious to be able to get back into that. Luckily, a year later, I was told, the cancer, I didn't have it in my body anymore, scans were clear, and started running again once I was able to, after going through cancer treatment, and started doing more, half marathons, 5Ks, really started to enjoy running, was doing more road running at the time, coming to group runs like at Milestone, that type of thing. And so just really came to love it.
Yeah.
And around 2016 or 2017, I always get the year wrong when San Diego Trail Runners started.
Yeah.
I was at the very first group run that San Diego Trail Runners ever had, with the founder Eric Spin.
Yeah.
Met up with him. I was very nervous about it, but went out on a trail run and I was like, this is a new challenge. This is really cool. And once I started to meet the trail running community, started hearing about, crazy people running 50Ks and 50 milers and 100 milers, and it really got my attention. And I was like, wow, this seems like something really special and really cool, you know. And I like the challenge. I think as most people that get into these longer distances and endurance distances, there's something about it that we kind of enjoy the suffering a little bit, but then enjoy the reward you feel after it, the accomplishment. I feel like a lot of us have gone through something, and maybe this is our way, our new outlet of whatever that something may have been. And so got into trail running. The trail running community here, as you know, is absolutely amazing. Not only trail running, but just the running community in general in San Diego, I think is really, really special. They're such amazing people. And in 2018, I was involved in a nearly fatal car accident. Was hit head on by a drunk driver. And I thought I was going to die. It was terrifying incident. My daughter was with me. We, both went to, an ambulance to the hospital, and I had 4 fractures in my back. One of which was L4 burst fracture, so basically your bone is burst into tiny little pieces. Very, very dangerous type of fracture. And I had lost some sensation kind of in this mid area, and they started to think that maybe there was some spinal cord damage at that point. I was in the hospital for a couple days and kind of said, I refuse this. I didn't want to accept that there was something like that going on, and they actually stood me up. I went to the bathroom. There's video of me walking down the hall with this broken back. Obviously they did some imaging to make sure there wasn't shifting with the bones with me standing, but I was so determined to be like, I need to overcome this, quickly. So very terrifying, and a very hard recovery. And I can't say that mentally I'm fully recovered. I don't know if you'll ever be fully recovered from something like that. But exactly 8 weeks after breaking my back, I went out for my first run.
Wow.
The doctor told me I could. This was not.
Okay.
He said you're healing amazing. Obviously, he said take it easy. Feel it out. Don't do anything crazy. So when I say run, it was very slow. It was about a mile total. But it was one of the most amazing runs I've ever been on in my life. Because it was just this sense of relief and moving forward. And so, and then so let's see, I had the accident, broke my back, and it was 10 months later I ran my first 50K. A few months later after that I ran another 50K, and then a few months later after that I ran my first 50 miler in less than a year after this injury. So, if anything, it brought me back stronger, maybe a little bit
Okay.
crazier.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, running has definitely gotten me through a lot. The community has gotten me through more than I think they know. And yeah, here I am.
Yeah, here you are. Yeah. So just bring it back a little bit further. Just bring it back a little bit. Just going back, talk about your daughter a little bit. Answer that. Well, we'll take it a little bit further when you were younger and you had your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us a little about your daughter and her being your wife for making it. I think your first comeback. Before you got to the outdoor running. And just I think your mom. When you went through like life situation. Before the running. And when you mentioned how your mom didn't recognize you, something like that,
Yeah. There's so much before that we could really get into.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Yeah. So at the time before I started running, I was living in Mexico. I actually left the United States when I was 9 years old. Moved to the jungle of Honduras with my mother, and we built a clinic in the middle of the jungle.
Oh, wow.
Only medical attention for hundreds of miles away, right? So we went out and did this when I was 9 years old. And then from there I went to boarding school in Canada for a couple years, and then from there I went down to Mexico where my mom continued to do nursing work in the villages of Mexico. And I was in Mexico for 13 years. So left the United States when I was 9, didn't return until I was 25. My mom had returned to the U.S. before me. And she has no idea to this day, I think, what I was going through. So I mean, I had my daughter when I was 19. Very, very young. Had no clue whatsoever what I was doing. And kind of went down not the best path. And really went into some depression and just was not healthy mentally or physically. And I felt, when you feel that you've hit that rock bottom, right?
I know.
And I called my mom and I said, I want to come back to the U.S. I need help. I need some help. I need to come back. My daughter needs more stability. I had this realization that I was not being the role model that I needed to be for her because of the state of mind that I was in. And so we flew into TJ and crossed over, and my mom was waiting for us on the other side. And I had at this point gained so much weight and was just I was drinking a lot and just not taking care of myself. And we were waiting for her, and she came in. I think we met a McDonald's or something that's right across the border. And she didn't even recognize me. Just walked right past me and was kind of shocked when she saw me because of just how, you can tell when someone's just not doing well. I was not myself. I had, it was I completely lost any sense of who I was or really where I was going or what. So, I mean, it was a point in my life where I had that realization that something needed to change for sure. And so grateful that I came back because I've met so many amazing people. So.
That's great, And you had to find a reason why, because a lot of people had their why to do what they do to move on. And could you say that your daughter was your why, one of your why to.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, she was 7 at that time,
Yeah.
so it makes me feel like maybe I should have had this realization sooner.
Yeah.
You know, she was already 7.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes it takes a while to
Yeah.
kind of realize, and that was 100% my why of needing to get myself back, you know, on a good path for her, and she's amazing. She's an amazing person, and
That's cool.
just I'm super proud of who she's become as well.
Oh, that's also, I love that, you know. Yeah, so, and then, be young, make a lot of full a lot of mistakes, you know, and things like that, you know. And how being young, making a mistake, how that help you to become who you are right now? You know?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tough question because
Yeah,
sometimes one
Yeah.
wants to say there were certain mistakes they wish they hadn't made.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to your point, that's what makes you who you are.
Yeah,
right?
definitely,
That's how you
definitely,
learn. That's
yeah.
how you grow.
Yeah.
That's how you then talk to your children about
Yeah.
the mistakes
Absolutely.
because you made them and you can talk to them about them.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could sit here for hours and tell you about the mistakes I've made.
Okay. Fine.
But and you know, I want to sit here and say, you know, I was young and it was part of it, you know, of course. But like, you learn, you grow, you look back and go, I'm glad I'm not making the same mistakes.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm happy to have made them and then just like survived some of them.
Oh yeah, definitely to survive. You're here for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
And you're able to find new life, you know, and new life is in running.
Yeah.
You know. But the process of running, you had to start by walking because when you're in the injury, you know.
Mhm.
And I read that again that like okay, you started walking and eventually started running. You started running some more, longer and longer.
And after each thing I overcame,
Yeah.
it was starting walking again, right?
Yeah.
You know, it was when I initially started running, it was walking. After cancer, I had to start with walking. After the accident, so every time it's kind of been this
Starting back over again.
starting over again, which can be frustrating, but at the same time makes you super grateful that you're able to start again.
Yes.
Right? Some people aren't given that opportunity.
I know.
So even though at some point you're like, man, why is this happening? This is so hard. You're also like, but I'm still capable of restarting, and I've been given the chance to do that.
Absolutely.
You know, so
absolutely. You can't take that for granted.
yeah.
So what kept you going? Keep coming back to want to do this, you know, at the like the hills of life, like it's called it the hills of life you've been to, you know, the cancer, the car accident, all that, you know. What kept you going to want to try to make this comeback over and over again?
Well, one, I think it has a lot to do with just like how I am. I'm not one to just sit still and say, okay, my back's broken. I'm just gonna not, like, I was me. I'm the type of person that goes to the doctor and says, literally, what is the limit I can push here? You know. But it's always, you know, I have my husband and my daughter, and you know, you always have that drive for someone to come back and push yourself through it. And also for me, I'm not one to be like, okay, this is my life. It's always no, how do I push through this and get stronger from it.
Also, you mentioned about running, how running can help us out in many different ways, you know. So how running help you discover a new life in your relationship that you have, like with your husband or other people? How running help you in that?
Yeah. Oh. That's a loaded question. It's forged so many new relationships.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, our running community here is,
Yeah.
and I've been told this by people from out of state too. They're like,
really?
your running community here is just, they're one of a kind.
Oh yes, I totally agree.
They really are. You know, we're so supportive of each other.
Yes.
You know, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be where I am now. So in that aspect, running has created these amazing relationships. It also keeps me sane.
Yeah.
So I think it helps my marriage because he would be dealing with a crazy lady.
Okay.
If I weren't running.
Yeah.
Like some days if I have to go, if I'm just like, I've been working so much that I, for some reason, didn't have time or something, my husband will be like, you're kind of grumpy. I think you need to go for a run.
Okay.
So it keeps me sane. So on the flip side, it keeps probably my family sane because I'm, you know, it's my outlet. It's definitely, it's like, you know, some people are, I know a lot of people say the same thing where it's like, that's their, your therapy, right? It's like your therapy. You clear your mind, you get that energy out, whatever it may be. And so it's helped me in all aspects of, I think, of all my relationships. In a positive way, I would like to think. I don't know if my husband would. Sometimes I think he's like, you're just crazy, but no, it's definitely positive.
That's great. That's great. And in your road to recovery, you know, how to support your husband and family been in your road to recovery, you know?
Oh my gosh. My husband is the strongest, one of the strongest people I know because everyone worries about the person going through it, like the person that's injured, the person that's sick. And sometimes the caregiver gets kind of pushed aside a little bit, but I cannot imagine him getting married and then his wife being diagnosed with cancer and him having to bathe me and bring me my whatever to, you know, just care for me. And then, you know, a few years later, he gets this absolutely terrifying phone call from a policeman that, you know, your wife's been hit by a drunk driver, like, and then not only that, but our daughter who broke her clavicle, arm, and leg, completely, we're both bedridden. And so he's caring for two people, you know, bathing, feeding, like, I mean, some people would just take off. I mean, that's just, he's been my rock. He's been super supportive, and, you know, some days if I were down, him, you know, just being there and being my number one. I know you're strong. I know you've gotten through other things, and you've got this. So he's my rock for sure.
Awesome.
And then, you know, my daughter's, even though she went through the accident too, man, she was so super strong. And it was during the summer, and they told her, take all the time off you need from school, right? It was right before school was starting, and she was like, no, I'm going to be in my first class at school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she was like, I'm not missing school. And I'm like, when I was her age, oh man, I would have been like, oh, I'm 6 months, I need to be out for, like, that was how I was when I was younger. And she was like, oh, I can't miss school. So she's got her strength as well, and that, seeing her also with that strength, like, it, you know, it makes me remind myself that I have to keep going too.
Yeah, definitely, you gotta keep climbing.
Yeah.
So, how have you used the negative cancer into something positive or purpose-driven?
Oh man, cancer is one of those things where you absolutely, obviously don't ever want to get it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've also, again, met some amazing, amazing people
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah.
So I was part of the first ever all cancer survivor team to run Ragnar SoCal.
Oh, nice, nice.
Even our driver was a cancer survivor.
Oh, wow, wow.
Unfortunately, 2 of my teammates have since passed away from cancer. And just being involved in, there are so many cancer survivor related running, like you can get involved in so many things.
Yes.
One of those things I'm involved with a lot right now is my dear friend Eric Martin, who was also diagnosed around the same time as me with the same type of cancer as me, started a nonprofit called Stage Free Melanoma, and they're dedicated to melanoma awareness and raising funds for research and treatment for melanoma. He unfortunately passed away from melanoma in 2020, and his wife has been trying to continue this nonprofit that this was his mission to make sure that what he was going through wasn't in vain, right? And so a percentage of proceeds of the UPF 50 net gator goes to the nonprofit Stage Free Melanoma. And I'm just always trying to find ways to be involved or support, or I'm all about like the walks, the raising funds and all of that. I think we actually with Milestone did a fundraiser for our cancer survivor team for Ragnar, because every time we run it as a cancer survivor team, we pick a fundraiser we want to donate to, and we all raise funds collectively as a Ragnar team to then go towards some sort of fundraiser geared towards cancer research. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like I said, you never want to have cancer, but something, you try to make something good come of it. So that's, I try.
You have. You're doing well. And since we talk about Switchback, you being the creator and founder of Switchback.
Correct.
Tell me the ideal of that coming about.
Yeah, so a lot of it I have to give credit to my husband. So I think a lot of business start is there's something you want that you can't find. So you're like, I'm just gonna make this myself. Right? So we all love our buffs and our gators. Most of the ones I think people have, and a lot of the ones I have are like freebies you've gotten at a race or whatever. And then we have buffs like the Buff brand. I really wanted something made in the United States. Okay, so I won't mention names, but most of them are not made in the United States. I wanted sustainable fabrics, and I know that word's thrown around a lot, so I can touch a little bit on exactly what that means for us in our fabrics. And I wanted something fun. Like you look now at Rabbit and at Sprints and Gooder. People want colorful, fun stuff, right? And I'm like, all my gators were really boring. I'm like, what is this? So I started buying fabric, and I've learned more about fabric than I thought I would ever know in my lifetime. Just researching where to get this, where to get the fabric in the U.S. That was made sustainably, that was recycled, all those things that checked off my list. And I taught myself how to sew through like YouTube videos, and I started making these, and my husband was like, I think people would really dig these. Maybe you should kind of see like if people want to buy these. And so it started kind of like that about a year ago, and the idea from there just really throughout the year evolved. he actually came up with the name, which I thought was really smart. You know,
Yeah,
the
you
switchbacks from the trails.
Yes, absolutely.
My daughter helped with the logo.
Oh,
She
nice.
is an art major in college in LA, so I
Okay,
thought this would be
awesome.
fitting for you to make this for me.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's how the idea evolved and came about, and then we just launched in February.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm super excited. You know, I would consider it more of like a premium type buff, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's comparable to the ones you're gonna find price-wise on buff websites. The same prices.
Okay.
But super durable.
Yeah.
We have like some UPF 50 ones.
Oh, nice.
Some different fabrics depending on what you want out of your fabric, and some super fun designs.
Okay.
So yeah, that's and then we have some hats, and then
nice.
probably coming out with some tech tees soon.
Okay, cool.
So we're excited about that. Yeah.
Awesome. Good to hear. Yes, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go back to the trail running, you know, and talk about a little bit about your love of the trail running. You know.
That love-hate. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that love.
I love it, man.
Okay.
It's makes me feel like free. You know. It's just being out on the trail, being with the people that are out on the trails. It's something special. And I think that's part of this as well as my passion and love come through in this product, right? I'm not just, you know, these aren't being mass produced somewhere. I'm literally hand making every single one of these in my garage currently myself.
Wow.
Eventually, we'll probably have to get some help.
Definitely.
But a lot of love and thought go into these.
Okay.
It's a product that, you know, because of my because, you know, how best can you like come up with a product other than like you using it yourself and like so the trails obviously. I mean, this is where it's used a lot. But just. I love getting out there in the trails. I'm definitely, you know, getting into the endurance. It's been since COVID, I think, since I ran. Well, I mean, I went out and ran 30 miles the other day, but it wasn't a race. It was just a 30 mile Saturday.
Just 30 miles Saturday. That's all. Just easy.
And easy whatever Saturday.
Okay.
But. Yeah, so maybe I'll be signing up for something soon. But
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, 50K, 50 miles, 100 miles, or what?
Oh man, people keep throwing that 100 mile. They're like, you're gonna run 100 mile, and I'm like, maybe since it's been a while, let me get another 50 mile or 100K under my belt.
I understand.
And then we'll talk, and then we'll see.
Yes.
But probably like a 50 mile or 100K.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, so since we're on Milestone Running, we've got to choose the background. So so we wear like Gary, we're wearing the Hoka. You know, I got the new pair of Hoka I just got. You know, again, thank you for Hoka and just the Hoka, me being a Hoka flyer. I got the Challenger. And, you know, so where you go to choose for trails, you know? I mean, I know you ain't been Hoka, but you're open to.
Oh, I always wear my Hokas on the trails. Speed goats.
Speed goat? Okay. Talk about it. Talk about some trail.
Yeah. I like people that don't, people that live here. There are people in San Diego that have no clue there's trails here.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right? Like, they're like, you don't surf? And I'm like, there's trails out here. But we have such amazing trails here in San Diego, and such a wide range of like, right here, you know, you go to the Black Mountain, which don't everyone hate on Black Mountain, you know you love it, okay? You got this steepness, and it's rocky, it's technical, and then you can, you know, drive out east for an
Yeah,
hour,
yeah,
you hit
yeah.
the mountains,
Yeah.
you're like in the trees.
I know.
We got trails right by the beach. I mean, seriously,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
just got
Yeah.
killer trails.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get better, and you can
Yeah.
drive an
I
hour
know.
in either
There you go.
direction,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's always someone running somewhere.
Yes.
You know,
Everywhere.
like where's everyone running this weekend?
I know.
And you know,
Yeah.
you've got your options.
Yeah.
There's always something going on.
East, west, south, north.
Yeah.
San Diego.
Exactly. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Well, that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you feeling good? You know, you feel like 100%. You know. So
Yeah. I mean, I gotta get back into kind of a training mode, I think.
Okay.
I mean, okay, we'll use the term training lightly, all right?
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of like training plans.
Okay.
When I say training, I just think like just running more, probably.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I just turned 40.
Awesome. Happy birthday.
A couple weeks ago. So 40's like the new 20, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go out and crush it.
Yeah, just getting started.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and before you wind it down, so what have been your greatest joys so far in life? You know.
Whoa.
Or one of them.
Whoa. Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
Life is a joy, first of all.
Okay.
Life,
all
right? Mm-hmm. You know, even when I turned 40, people were like, how do you feel about it? And I'm like, how do I feel about it? I got the opportunity to live another year. That's how I feel about it. There's nothing wrong with getting old, okay?
Yeah.
So just greatest joy, I mean, my daughter I'm so super proud of. She's, I mean, above and beyond where I was at her age. And so it boggles my mind. But yeah, that's such a tough question because I'm just one of those people that like I just really enjoy things, you know? I enjoy like a awesome taco, you know, where you find the joy in the little things, like a taco and a margarita or something.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good. Taco Tuesdays.
I enjoy this type of thing, talking with people.
Yeah, me too.
Making connections. That brings me a lot of joy.
Okay.
So, yeah, just life, man.
Life. I like that. Okay. My last question. What is your boundless motivation and thoughts?
Wow. Boundless motivation and thoughts. Wow, you hit me with a tough one.
I don't say the question in advance, maybe I did.
Well, you know, motivation, it's like it's something that comes from within. You know, every day there should be something motivating you to do whatever. And sometimes some days are harder than other, right? Some days you're like, even the motivation to make this cup of coffee right now seems like really tough. But some days it's just, and what I've learned from just like my life in general is literally it's okay sometimes to take it, not even one day at a time, but sometimes like a half an hour at a time, right? And just to remind yourself that you're never alone in something. There is always somebody that can relate to you, whether you think so or not. Okay? Sometimes it's really hard to talk, but I guarantee you bring up whatever it is and there will be that person.
Yes, totally agree.
Depression, cancer, whatever it may be, right? So if you're lacking the motivation, you know, it's okay to find someone to help you get that motivation, right? So I take a lot of that from other people. Other people motivate me a lot. Seeing what they're doing, seeing their accomplishments makes me also want to like do better and be a better person every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely just learn from others. See what
Learn from others,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, be inspired
Yep.
others so you could inspire somebody else.
Totally, yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
All right, thank you. Wow,
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
So thank you again,
Yeah.
Michelle, for this conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And you for joining the Run Boundless family. And also, before we leave, somebody want to reach out to you, want to connect with you, want to get the switchback gator, that gator,
Yeah. You can check out the website. It's literally just switchback.com,
Yeah.
spelled how it's spelled.
Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram at Switchback. That's
Yeah.
always super helpful.
Yeah,
Just, follow me, like posts.
Yeah.
If you buy a gator or hat,
Yeah.
tag me.
Yeah.
We've got everything online. And obviously here at Milestone.
Yes.
So you want to come
Milestone.
check out
Yeah.
some stuff at Milestone. We have at Milestone. We also are at Fleet Feet San Diego.
Free Feet San Diego.
And we're just like, hit me up.
Yeah.
Or I'm out there,
Yes,
making connections. Just message me on Instagram.
That's
Check
right.
out the
There
website.
you go.
Sign up for the newsletter.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And thank you, Run Boundless family, for joining me on another episode of the Run Boundless Show. Live a life beyond the boundary that you set on yourself. Like Michelle Johnson have done repeatedly over and over again. Showing, not letting what the things she's been through stop her from becoming the person she is today. And from cancer to back, issues and many other things she had to go into her life, but she found a way to overcome and be inspired by others. Also, she showed she inspiration to other people also. So thank you for showing what being knowledge all about.
Thank you.
Yes, and see you till next time. Cool.